Hey guys, let's get more news about Steelers, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Ballhawk cornerback pushing for roster spot at Pittsburgh Steelers training camp. The Pittsburgh Steelers might not feel that good about their cornerback room with no sure pecking order. However, one player sticks out from the crowd the more he plays. Meet Thomas Graham, who has Steelers roots in his family and is the cousin of former Steelers wide receiver Marcus Wheaton. While he did not learn about the Steelers culture from Wheaton, the standard that Wheaton set throughout Graham's childhood made Wheaton someone he idolized growing up. But kind of when I was just growing up, that's just one of the idols that I look up to my whole life. He was one of the people that when I was growing up, he set the standard. And he was one of those people like, I want to do this. You feel me? He went underrated out of high school. Went to Oregon State. He was balling there. You feel me? People don't know he had the receiver record there before Brandon Cooks. Brandon Cooks came and broke it. So it was just like he set standards. You feel me? Aspirations that were so high that no matter what I had. It was nothing I had to do but had to meet there and reach that, Graham said. So far in camp, Graham is getting his hands on the football. He had 2 pass breakups on Sunday, and he has caused havoc for quarterbacks, either benefactoring interceptions or tipping them to other players. That is before Graham played more in the slot, where he shined as a blitzer and made multiple tackles for loss. I think what you see from TG, Thomas Graham Jr., is he's making some plays, defensive coordinator Terrell Austin said. You see him around the football, all of a sudden there will be a nice interception and it's TG. There will be a nice play, a guy tackled for a loss, showing up as a blitzer, and so he's shown some versatility, and he's shown the ability to get around the ball. So, I think that's really a good thing and that helps people. The bottom line in our business, if you're playing and getting difficult assignment all you want, but if you don't make any plays then you aren't very good for us. We need guys that are able to make plays, make tackle for losses, get turnovers, all those different things, and he's shown the ability to do that. Graham honed his ball skills during high school and college, sometimes doubling as a receiver. That helped him take his ball skills to the next level. Where Graham goes, ball production generally follows. That is his ticket to the team, but having some inside-out versatility is a huge factor for Graham, too. When you feel you're in position for the route, like, give your chance to put yourself in position to win early so you can win late. And I think that's kind of what I prided myself on, like, when I've been in here in the league. I had a lot of ball production in college and, you feel me, it just continues to go on now, Graham said. As Graham slowly creeps up the depth chart from third to second teams and beyond, the Steelers give Graham more challenging matchups. That is where he will have to earn his keep after coming off a season-ending injury last year. If Graham can continue to get his hands on the football, good things will happen for him and his roster chances. Steelers WR identified as cut candidate after pretty awful effort versus Texans. Pittsburgh Steelers pass catchers accounted for 260 receiving yards during the preseason opener against the Houston Texans. Of those 260 yards of production, wide receiver Quez Watkins contributed 0. USA Today Sports Steelers wire writer Kurt Popejoy was critical of Watkins on August 10 after the dud of a debut, stating that Watkins is now on the roster bubble in his eyes. If you are not going to have any impact in the passing game, you have better not mess up 2 punts if you want to make the team, Popejoy argued. Adding, Quez Watkins was pretty awful against the Texans and might not make it to the start of the season. In case you missed the game, Watkins coughed up 1 punt from Tommy Townsend, handing the ball back to the Texans. On another punt, Watkins elected to settle for what was described as a bad fair catch decision by Steelers Depot's Alex Kozora. To put it mildly, it was a nightmare performance from Watkins, as members of the Steelers community already began calling for him to be cut on social media. Pittsburgh did make a couple of roster moves on August 10, more on that below, but they didn't involve Watkins. Assuming he remains with the team, he'll need to have a much better showing during the Steelers' second and third preseason outings if he wants to make the initial 53. With Watkins trending south, fellow wide receivers Calvin Austin III and Scotty Miller put in solid performances against Houston. Austin led the Steelers in receiving yards with 49 off of 2 receptions, and he would have added a touchdown to that stat line if third-string quarterback Kyle Allen didn't miss on a wide-open fade route in the back corner of the end zone. As for Miller, he led the Steelers in catches with 3. The veteran slot receiver was also just behind Austin in yardage, with 47 through the air. Aside from those two, there were good moments from George Pickens and Van Jefferson, the current projected starters on the outside, during their brief usage, but the only other notable highlight in the passing game was a 34-yard reception by Des Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick will likely be in direct competition with Watkins for a backup role on the outside, so his emergence would be doubly unfortunate for the latter. As noted above, there were a couple of Steelers roster moves on the NFL transaction log on August 10. Steelers Depot relayed them for fans on X. The Steelers waived LB Easton Gibbs on Saturday and signed DL Marquis Spencer and LB Lukwe Washington. They placed NT Braden Fehoko on reserve/injured, per NFL transaction sheet, the account informed. Washington was one of 4 linebacker tryouts on August 9. He's an undrafted rookie that began his NFL journey with the Kansas City Chiefs this spring and early summer. Washington spent 5 years at Central Connecticut State University from 2019 through 2023. He's listed at 6'1" and 215 pounds on the college's website, with 110 career tackles, 16.5 for a loss, 7.0 sacks, 3 interceptions, 2 forced fumbles and 5 pass breakups. Spencer is a 6'4", 295-pound former 7th-rounder that has bounced around the league since 2021. He's only appeared in 1 regular season NFL outing despite spending time with the Denver Broncos and New York Jets. The 2 additions replace Gibbs and Fehoko, who both suffered recent injuries. The latter season is officially done after his placement on the long-term injured reserve. Brandon Aiyuk reportedly has only 2 options. Brandon Aiyuk has reportedly been very particular about which team he wants to play for next, and the star wide receiver appears to be almost out of options as a result. ESPN's Jeremy Fowler said on SportsCenter Saturday that he believes Aiyuk is down to 2 options for where he plays in 2024, the Pittsburgh Steelers and Aiyuk's current team. "I'm told it's pretty much down to the Steelers and 49ers him staying in San Francisco at this point," Fowler said. "I was told around Thursday the 49ers intensified their efforts to try to re-sign him after some stagnant weeks where he was sitting around waiting to be traded, essentially. The Steelers and other teams have tried the Patriots, the Browns, but it looks like right now it is those 2. It was really a pay-me-or-trade-me situation for Aiyuk, so maybe they're actually going to pay him in San Francisco." Aiyuk asked the 49ers to trade him earlier this offseason when the team showed no urgency to sign him to a top-of-market contract. The Niners have since allowed Aiyuk and his representatives to explore trades and negotiate long-term extensions to help facilitate any potential deals. The New England Patriots were said to be open to making Aiyuk one of the 5 highest-paid wide receivers in the NFL, but Aiyuk does not want to play for them. A report on Friday claimed Aiyuk also blocked a trade to another AFC team. At this point, it seems like Aiyuk just wants to be traded to Pittsburgh. The Steelers may not be able to meet San Francisco's asking price, however. And you, fan? What do you think of the situation of Brandon Aiyuk? Leave your opinion in the comments.